All right, guys, it's been a while. Coming at you with another one. So we are heading to go scout some more public, change out some SD cards. I had to stop at Walmart because I was out of SD cards. So yeah, we're gonna get out of this parking lot, get away from this Walmart because it is hell here. It's 7:30 in the morning and this place is already packed. The joys of Middletown Walmart, but it is what it is. On a good note is if you're looking for SD cards and you don't want to spend a ton, they got the 16 gigs at Walmart 4-pack for $23. And of course, not that I needed another one, but we got another task to add to the fleet. I'm not putting cell cams on public yet. If I find a deer that I really want to target, I probably will. But as of right now, I'm not going to be running any of my moultries on there until I find something that gets me excited, which may happen this card pull. And I'm hoping. I got 12, 16 cameras out across 9 or 10 different pieces of public. So I'm hoping we can find something. I'm obviously finding other people's trail cameras too, so it's public. You're never going to be the only one, especially around here. But we'll see what happens. So come along, let's go see what we can find. All right, before we get in, I forgot last time we were spraying down. Obviously, you're not supposed to put this on your skin, so don't do what I'm doing. But I'm not dealing with that's way too much spray. About 80% of my body right now is covered in chigger bites, so I'm not dealing with that again. So we're just gonna spray down. And I really don't want that alpha gal crap, because that'd be a suicide for me. No chiggers. Well, let's get into our first piece of public. We got so much distance to cover today. I want to try to pull every card. Sorry if you had to see my belly. Try to pull every card today just to get a general idea of what's going on. See if we have anything that we want to move cell cams in for. See what we got. Standing corn on public. That's gonna be new for me. I haven't done much of this public land hunting in several years. When I first started, the only reason we hunted public was because Sundays weren't open around home. So we had to run to Western Maryland if we wanted to hunt. And I shot a few does out there, never shot any bucks. I always enjoyed it though. A lot of tracks in this mud. Ooh, is that coyote tracks? Oh yeah, coyotes. I've been looking for a new group of coyotes to get on. I've been having some issues locating coyotes to hunt. Summer coyote hunting is one of my favorite things to do. So I might have to come back here in the night with the locator, see if I can't locate these bad boys. Or I got a trail camera right up from here. Hopefully it's got some sign on it of coyotes. I don't know why I just started whispering, but anyway, yes, we used to have to ride 2 hours west to go deer hunt public land. But this year I wanted a different challenge. I've never arrowed a mature buck on public. And honestly, I like to hunt so much, I don't like to burn out on my private. So it's nice having somewhere else to go in order to still scratch that itch. But it should be a fun year. Putting a lot of miles on through March. But I'm gonna shut up because I need to get on Onyx and see where this camera is. I think it's right in here. Yeah, let's see. Well, that was not the correct trail that I just took, but I did jump up a small bachelor group. Don't know how big they were because it's so thick. But they were definitely bucks. One seemed to have a decent rack. I couldn't get a good look at the others. So there's deer here. All right, camera one down. Now we get to sneak back out of here and hike a mile to the next. So my favorite part about scouting, summertime on all this public, I mean private too, but mostly public because I can cover miles and the chances are a lot better, are these little guys. Homeboy's eating a mushroom, you can see it right there. He's shy. But every turtle I find on public, I send a picture to my wife. That's how she knows there's something mentally wrong with me. But I'm gonna put him back. Let him get back to enjoying this mushroom. One thing I wanted to go over, you see when I'm hanging these cameras, obviously I'm hanging them off the ground to hide them from both, sorry, spider web in my mouth, hide them from both deer and humans with sticky fingers. Just get them a little bit off the ground, the chances of them getting stolen go down a little bit. But I do carry one stick to get them up there. I use a Hawk Helium for that. I don't recommend using that stick for hunting. I've moved past them. They've kicked out on me too many times. And it's not fun when you're 18 feet up a tree and you can't get down. You have to have your buddy come reset your stick for you. So just overall, not a good time. This year I'm switching over to the nested gear. The only reason I'm not wearing them to do this kind of stuff is I don't want to get my bag all sweaty. I just don't want to use them for that purpose. They're a great stick, I'd rather throw this crappy helium where I'm only 3 or 4 feet off the ground, one stick. I don't have to worry about them kicking out. But yeah, just because you see me using them, I don't recommend them. I think they're junk. I didn't know better when I was getting in the mobile game, and I ran them for years, and I've had lots of issues over the years. So that's just my 2 cents. Not that anyone asked. But all right, well this piece is done. Those cameras are changed out. We're gonna go to the next one. The next piece is about an hour down the road. It's gonna be a lot of drive time today. The thing about this next spot is there are cell cams everywhere. I mean, everywhere. It's the worst I've ever seen. It was so bad that every time that I would stop in a spot that I really liked that looked good on maps and had deer sign and was promising, I'd look in the tree and there'd be a cell cam facing me. Have not found a cell cam here yet, thank God. Not that there'd be service to even get it where I'm at, or get the pictures, that is. But yeah, so there's a lot of hunting pressure. So what I did, and if you see them on your public cameras, comment, say something. But I like to wave at every camera I go by. I don't know if it pisses people off. I mean, I'm on their camera, might as well show them a little bit of attention. But I actually got a text from an old friend that I hadn't talked to in a while. That one of them was his cameras, so that was kind of cool. Reconnecting with him, and you know, we're able to share, turkey track, share information. Kind of worked that way. What I thought about doing is getting a sign that said, have a good hunting season, and if you want to share intel, text me and put my number on it. I haven't done it yet. I don't know that I'm gonna, but it's something I've been toying around with the idea. I know how people are. They don't like to talk when it comes to public land, unless I got a 200, which I highly doubt. I don't care about sharing information. It's public land. Anyone can come here. Anyone can do this. And if it helps someone shoot a deer and have a good time, so be it. I'm not going to keep my cards too close on public. Private, on the other hand, I don't talk to anybody. I don't share trail cam photos, but except for a few of my close buddies. I don't even really have giants on camera. Something about private, I just don't like sharing it. I also think it's bad luck to share trail cameras with too many people. I'll post a trail camera photo if it's funny or something unique on social media. But like my shooters, until it's dead, I try not to post them. When I first started the land management business, I did post them a good bit just because it's good for business. You're going to use a land manager that produces big deer, so you need proof besides just kills. And I've kind of gotten away from that. At the end of the day, I think I produce enough content that people can tell I'm not full of shit. It's just I have nothing to prove anymore. But what's your thoughts on that? Do you like sharing trail cameras? Do you not like sharing trail cameras? I'm curious what other people's opinions are on it. All right, well, next time you see me, we will be back in the truck unless something walks out in front of us so we can share with you guys. But see you on the road. Another thing to look for, you can see where the deer is eating all the buds off. You can see the browse pressure where as soon as they come. So you'll see it's not really curling up, so it's not a scrape, but the deer are just coming through and just nipping them off as the fresh growth comes. A lot of times people are looking for sign, and obviously tracks are easy to see, but like the road I'm standing on, you can't see tracks. So the next best thing is seeing sign like that. So just something to keep in your toolbox for this season. So one thing I really didn't do a great job of explaining with those trail cameras is why I put them where I did. Part of the reason is because I don't really want to blow up the spot. I don't want to show people exactly where I'm at, but the idea between those two cameras are it's just bedding to feed, pretty much. One's going to a cornfield, one's going to beans and acorns as they start dropping, but the main thing is it's the exit out of a big bedding area. Two separate bedding areas. So I'm curious to see, they're about a mile apart. I'm curious to see if there's any deer that are on both cameras. Who knows? But yeah, so that's kind of why those cameras are set there. So we're gonna drive about an hour down the road, and we're gonna head to the next spot and pull some cameras there. We got, what, 8 more cameras to go? 10 more cameras to go? Probably not gonna get to them all today, because there's a few cameras about 3 hours from the house, and honestly, it's my night to cook, and I don't feel like starting dinner at 8 o'clock. So we're not gonna probably hit those today unless I get a wild hair. But anyway, see you at the next. Well, the spray didn't work. Fuck! I guess the spray only works if they come across your legs where you sprayed them. But apparently, I put my hand in something, so now I gotta get these off before I get lit up again. I do not like chiggers, I do not like ticks. So, yay. Well, arrived at our second location. A bunch of horse trailers in the parking lot, so I'm sure we'll run into them. No big deal. This spot I'm super excited about. I've wanted to hunt it for deer since I was a kid and just never did. I know there's deer here. I know there's good deer here. The problem is everybody knows there's good deer here. And there is a lot of cameras. So this is where I found, I think, 10 trail cameras the first time I went in here. Yeah, so curious to see how many people I have on my trail cameras and kind of go from there. I mean, the deer are used to the people. It's just kind of annoying. There's some nice bean fields out here. I'm going to try to glass this week if I get the right wind and kind of go from there. Show you if you see anything. So that's another good thing to look out for on public is, especially early season, is sunflowers. Those deer will destroy sunflowers. Every public land patch I've ever been in has just always had a ton of deer tracks, a ton of deer near it. Now, obviously, September 1st hits and the duck hunters get in here. That's going to change, but I'm sure they're still going to continue to hit it after dark. So don't rule out sunflowers. I mean, there's a reason Big Time's been using them for years. They're effective. So look at the dove patches. Most of the time you got bare dirt. If it's done right, it's easy to pick up on tracks and kind of go from there. That's a huge deer. So if you look, you can see where the deer have been coming out in this field from this corner. You can see how it's beat down real well right in the middle. So those deer have been coming out of this corner over here and feeding out in these beans at night. The field might be a good spot, like probably shoot some does. You might be able to get a buck off it, but right on the field, I got a feeling after a week of hunting pressure, you're probably not going to see them come out in these fields during shooting hours. That's just my guess. I could be 100% wrong. They could be out here every night until October, until the beans grow to go down. But yeah, I mean, you can see it's just nipped off at the top a good bit. So it's a good way to see where the deer are coming out in bean fields and kind of narrow it down a little bit, make it easier on you. It sure is getting hot. I didn't think it was supposed to get this hot today, but I am sweating. Doesn't help I'm sunburnt and I spent all day on the boat yesterday, so I kind of did this to myself. Life goes on. Always wave to the trail cameras. Never steal them though. If you ever catch me waving on your trail cameras, shoot me a message. I'm just curious of how many people actually see it and how they react when they see it. I think it's funny. It don't bother me a bit, but just curious. Shoot me a message if you see me. It's a two-turtle kind of day. That's kind of how I measure my success in summer scouting, is how many turtles I find. Turkey season too. God, he's a big boy. It's a giant. Oh yeah. That's probably the biggest turtle I found this year. Look at this pretty guy. Pretty pissed that I'm picking him up. Hell yeah. Two-turtle day. Let's go. I love finding these steep drop-offs because usually there's a little ledge that these deer like to walk. Kind of funnels them down. This trail's pretty beat down. It's one I found last time I was in here. I got a camera right up here. This one's more just of a funnel to a sanctuary. I'm sure they do come to go to food, but I mostly have this camera for like the rut. It's not as food focused, if that makes sense. So there's also another cell cam 50 yards from this trail camera, so it kind of is what it is. I didn't see his until I was leaving, and honestly, I wasn't about to move it again. So, all right, let me hike back up this, and I'll show you where the camera is. Hi. The dude put his cell cam on a great spot. The trail bottlenecks down right here. But most importantly, he put it on a half-dead tree that I'm pretty sure if anyone like me sees it, they'd be too scared to even try to climb and steal it. Not that I would ever steal a trail camera, but I'm not everybody. So I'd love to know whose camera that is, because I would love to share intel with him, because I know he's got to have a bunch on his camera. It's got to be a killer camera. But if it's you, reach out. I'll share my intel if you share me yours. I'll show you yours if you show me yours. Yeah, I can't even talk. So. Ooh, looks like someone's been walking back here. There's tracks in the mud. Interesting. What I don't like about that is it looks like they cut vegetation to get back in here, which you cannot cut vegetation on public land. So I'm not really sure what their thought process was there. It looks like they took a weed whacker and just weed whacked everything down, which is a big no-no. I'm sure I'll get them on trail camera. Coming in here, they must have come in by water, because I doubt they carried a weed whacker all the way back. Yeah, so I'm curious to see how far they cut back here, see if they have a stand or something back here. Yeah, so if that's you, don't do that. You can't do that on public. Not a good idea. Man, he went way back here. Kind of surprised. And he goes where it floods. Yeah. So he cut a trail so he can get in this tree stand, I'm assuming, to hunt it. Not tree stand, this tree. But it's high tide, so it's all flooded out, and I really don't feel like getting my boots wet. I don't know, looks like he cut quite a ways back in there. Yeah, don't be that asshole. The amount of places I've seen where people do stuff such as this, and I've also seen a ton of people putting mineral and feed out on public, like, and right off the trails. Like, what are you thinking? Well, the problem is, if it gets caught, it not only affects the person that does it, but it also affects the people hunting that property as well. And I could be off on this, but it's just like baiting waterfowl. If someone gets caught baiting waterfowl, which is highly illegal, they'll shut down the entire farm. They could shut down the entire area. So just don't do it. It ain't worth it. Go by the rules. But also, I'll add, that's a wildlife sanctuary. You're not allowed to hunt in there. I walked into the boundaries. I didn't go all the way in. That's another reason I don't want to get my feet wet, because you're not allowed back there. So, yeah, don't be that guy. Just don't. Always a good sign. Remington Slugger. Well, I found the horses. Of course, they're on like a tight area where I don't want to walk around the corner and bust them up and scare them. I don't want to spook them. So I just kind of waiting it out. So the last thing I want to do is cause any trouble for the horse people. Share the public land. I probably could walk right up on them, but they don't know I'm here, and their horses don't know I'm here. So to me, it's not worth the risk of spooking a horse. Someone getting hurt, horse getting hurt. It's not worth it. So we'll give them a few minutes. If not, if they don't move on, I'll cut through the thick stuff to get around them, so I don't spook them. Enjoys the public land. Everyone's got the right to be out here. I did find a sick deer trail though when I cut down here. I'm gonna try pushing a little farther. It seems really steep to be bedding back here, but it is nasty thick. They're not moving, so I'm just gonna go check this out. See what I can find. Really nice trail. You should really see it right through there. The right wind in this spot could be pretty good. It probably gets overlooked by a lot of hunters because it's, ow, fuck, so thick to get in here, and honestly it doesn't look real great from a map perspective. There's no food that I can see in here, but the deer are here. I'm curious if they use them in the daytime though. Of course, I didn't bring my extra trail camera with me, like I should have. I even said that when I was getting out of the truck. I better grab that. I didn't. Oh well. Ain't like the spot's gonna move. But there's some deer vertebrae bones. Some fresh deer crap. Might be a little honey hole in here. I did have a stand site marked that I would like to try in the rut. About 200 yards up from here. A happy little detour. Not happy about the briars. Those suck. They suck bad. But there is an opportunity to get in here quietly and hunt this with the right wind. Even if it's a doe spot, it's pretty easy to get into. It's always worth exploring. So, all right, I'm gonna shut up. I'll see you guys at the next site unless I find something good on this, maybe some old rub or something. If not, I'm just gonna shut up and suffer through these briars. So it's hard to see. You can see where the dirt's rubbed or wore out right there. The log would be the backdrop. It's right off this trail here. I would bet money that's a buck bed. So that's a good sign. I just gotta find a way to get in here. The bank's too steep to come in from the water. And I feel like if he came in from the fields, he's gonna be feeding out there. If it's even a buck I'm wanting to chase. That I don't know. I'm sure it's multiple bucks. It's usually not just one buck. There's a decent tree just off the woods line. I can get a tree stand in. Yeah, but if you ever see a faint trail coming out, go check it out. This was worth the briar in the crotch. Oh, all right. Let me get off here. So one thing that camera kind of shows when hanging these cameras and trying to hide them on public, I spotted that camera over 100 yards away. The only reason I spotted it is because I saw those straps on the back of the tree. I have seen guys use wire to put their cameras up. I haven't. I'm sure in theory it works. But it's just something to keep mindful. That's a non-cellular camera. So anyone could just find it, check the SD, take the camera. Again, I don't promote that, obviously, but that's why I try to hide the cameras. Luckily, he put it pretty high. unless the guy's super tall, he's not going to be able to just reach. He's got to take a step out and climb up. But really good spot. I'm curious to see what he gets on that camera. I'm excited to see what he gets on that camera because it's in a really good spot. This stuff is money on public. Can't bait, can't use minerals, but we can use these. That one might be a little high. Do I expect the deer to be hitting scrapes like they would in the rut? No. But deer do use scrapes year round. They might not be pawing at the ground and all of that and peeing in them, but they will touch them throughout the summer. So don't count out a mock scrape, especially in a good area. There are so many trails here. All the funnel down points here have cell cams on them. So I didn't really want to put a camera next to someone else's camera. That's kind of rude. So kind of made my own little pinch point. Nice little creek or nice little contour in the hillside that they walk naturally. Put a mock scrape on there, funnel them down. What they're doing is they're bedding back in these marshes back in here, coming out of the marshes. So once the acorns start falling, this will be a nice little hot spot. I'm hoping the bucks just don't use the main trails as much as the does in the daylight, and they're on some of these contour trails I see coming out of here. That would be my theory. Again, this spot's gonna get hunted hard, so I really don't know what it looks like a week in the season, but we gonna find out. I'm excited for this card pull though. It should be a good one. I'm hoping on this. All right, well that's the last camera for this piece, so I got about a mile hike back to the truck. It's right around 11, 12. I'm starting to get a little hungry. Stop at the Royal Farms, smash some food, and we got three more properties to hit. So should be a good pull tonight. I'm excited, but I need to shut up or it's gonna be dark by the time I get this shit done. So let's get going. The more I come here, the more I don't like the amount of people sign. You can see where someone cut a trail into here. Yeah, not loving all the people signing for me. Is what it is. That's right where I made the comment of that's where they're feeding that little doe. There she goes. All right, well, that's 2 properties down. 3 to go still. Still not back to the truck. We have arrived. Time to get some super healthy food. Let's see what we got. Super healthy because I'm out of Mountain Ops. Obviously chicken's super healthy for you. And then I got some water to refill my bladder. Well, I am not gonna video eating because it is not gonna be a pretty sight. But we're gonna get some food in us and head to the next public piece and get on in there. We're gonna hang another camera probably in this piece along with, check the one that's already in there, so. Whew. right, we are refueled and we're gonna hike back to the next spot. We got 2 cameras on the same property but broken apart. So let's get in there. The amount of stories that chair could probably tell. We were looking this creek bottom. Pretty cool. So I spray painted it camo. Every time I see this, I just think someone got tired of a squirrel barking at them, so they shish kebabbed them. What do you think? Just got exciting, partially because a giant storm's rolling in on me and I am nowhere near the truck, but also I just jumped up a hammer bedded 60 yards behind my trail camera. I'm hoping he got stuck in the bushes for what felt like forever. It was probably all of 5 seconds, but he got stuck. His rack got caught up in the vines. And man, he was a giant. There was 360 pictures on that camera, which for 30 days on just a travel corridor, obviously we can't bait, we can't use mineral on public. I'm real happy with that. I'll be really happy if he's on the camera though. If that's deer is what I think he is, I got a plan for him. Oh, I got a plan for him. Yes. I love this shit. I love deer hunting in general. I love hunting on private land. But I'll tell you what, the exploring part of this, the unknown part of this, I really do like this public land stuff. Now ask me come December how I feel about it. You might get a different answer, but yeah, that was awesome. All right, I'm gonna sneak out of here. I got a burner camera in my pack I want to throw on the other side. I definitely want to throw on the other side now that I know he's in here. There's 4 more cameras I wanted to get to today, but with this storm rolling in, I'm probably just gonna have to hit one section after work a day. I'm looking at a possible e-bike tomorrow, so fingers crossed. I don't even need an e-bike, to be honest. I just need a bike. Not because I don't like walking, I love walking, but to be completely honest, it is tough to cover enough ground by foot, just for how spread out my cameras are and all that. So, all right, well, I'm gonna sneak out here. It is thick to get in and out of here. It's honestly brutal. I get why the deer are back here, but hopefully we got them on camera. We'll see. Well, not a terrible day. We switched the cards out of 8 cameras. There was an additional 4 I wanted you to get to today, but this rain's coming down pretty good now, and honestly, I'm pretty pretty beat. I think I did, let's see how many miles I did. I did 12 miles today, so yeah, I'm a little toasted. I need to trim the beard, cut the hair, that's true. But yeah, I'm gonna head to the grocery store so I can get some stuff for dinner, and we'll check some cameras after dinner, see what we got. So if there's anything exciting, we'll get back to you.
Cruising in the shadow lane, dark thoughts running